If you joined us in part 1 of our adventure, you know our journey was filled with incredible scenery, dead ends, awesome meals, and unexpected encounters. Grab a beer as we dive into a little adventure I call Roaming Wyoming. I proceeded to the rendezvous point, which positioned us exactly where we left off and to continue the next section of the BDR. Hey, what's up everyone? Just arrived at the meeting spot here for our upcoming trip in Laramie, Wyoming. So we're going to begin part 2 of Roaming Wyoming and continuing on the next couple sections of the BDR. I caught up with Mike, who has joined me on other trips, and he showed me his new additions.
Good to see you, man. Yeah, you can move it around.
This time we return exactly 1 year later with a new crew to explore more of the beautiful and remote places Wyoming has to offer. Alright, we just left our meeting spot there in Laramie, and we are heading west to Centennial. And from there we'll head north into the Medicine Bow Mountains and see what we can find from there. We definitely had a few exciting points of interest to see today, and it was great that the trip was finally underway.
No, I think so. Where's Brown's? Brown's is that one right there. See? That? So, yeah, so we're looking at that.
It was good to be back on the trail, heading towards a water crossing. And who doesn't love a good water crossing, right? Let's go see what the status is of this water crossing. Doesn't look very deep to me. We made a pit stop to enjoy some lunch before we ascended our next obstacle. What kind of tasty treats are we having here?
Oh, nothing fancy.
Got a bread sandwich.
Yeah, make sure you get it the good side.
Oh yeah.
It's
oh my goodness.
baby Swiss on multigrain with a little Dijon.
It's a culinary masterpiece, I think. You still copy back there, Shane?
Good.
I was gonna say I have a couple more interesting beers for you to sample this evening.
Yeah, we went ahead and picked one up too that I don't know anything about it, but we can all give it a shot.
I like it already.
There was a lady at the liquor store, an older lady, that highly, highly recommended it. We'll see if she's worth it.
Yeah, we'll certainly find out if she has good taste in beer or not. That one right there?
Oh, wow.
We spent some time soaking up the views from the summit, but it was getting later in the day and we had to start making our descent to seek out camp.
Put in the shade for a bit. I'll get you.
Oh my god. This is really bad. Gonna put this thing to the test tonight and see what this does.
To generate some smoke, so nature's
Kind of alright if it just sits there and smokes.
Look at this special beer that Shane brought. It's a Pog Gelato sour ale. I never had a beer that said gelato on the can to begin with, so can't wait to try this.
As stated before, never been down this road, so.
While we're set up at camp here, trying to battle the mosquitoes because it's straight up Alaska out here in Wyoming. But we're making the best of it. Set up a fire, cooking some food. Hopefully that'll keep some of the mosquitoes away. So we'll see. I grilled up some tasty fajitas as we relaxed around the fire before tucking into bed. Fortunately, the mosquitoes subsided and we retained some sanity.
I've got an eco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Serious coffee.
Yeah. Real efficient. Real efficient packing.
Bring the whole set. All right, who's ready to check out the shitter over there? Such a peaceful looking toilet. I'm gonna need a
Good. This is I'm gonna need a stick to open this.
Why? You don't have smell vision on there.
Shitter's full.
We hit the trail the next morning and headed north to the town of Elk Mountain and the Carbon Cemetery. The town of Carbon was founded by the Union Pacific Railroad in 1868 as a place where they could source fuel for steam locomotives. It was unfortunately not a great place to live, as it was rife with Indian attacks, frequent mining accidents, and lacked water. Once inhabited by 1,000 people, this mining outpost contained several coal mines, as well as churches, a general store, saloons, and a bank, to list a few. In 1890, a fire destroyed most of the town's structures, and today only a few foundations remain. There is still a cemetery and traces of the old town of Carbon still at the site. The town of Carbon went bust when coal mines started closing down and the railroad moved the line. This prompted inhabitants to move to better places such as Hannah and left the place pretty much a ghost town. We took a pit stop for lunch before heading east towards the town of Medicine Bow, and then turned north into the Shirley Mountains.
If you're ever in this part of the town, make sure to pick up some of this.
We are just about north of Medicine Bow, making our way to Alcova. Definitely some beautiful scenery going through right here, but on a pretty bumpy road right now. It just so happens to be called Difficulty Road, heading into the Shirley Mountains, and gotta have to see what lies ahead.
Here we are at the Shirley Mountains overlook. The epic scenery.
All right, we are just south of Alcova, and driving to some sparse BLM land spots here and there. Just trying to find camp for the night. It's about 5:45 p.m. and if we wanted to complete the next section tomorrow, we have to do a big push and push a little bit further tonight. But we'll see how far we get.
Antelope crossing.
Oh, it's been a long day, but finally made it to camp. Just getting settled in. Pretty nice camp. It's way past beer 30. Joe over here. Shane. And then Mike's gonna be over there. Wow, it's been a day. A little bit later at camp than initially wanted to, but there was definitely some sparse areas where there just wasn't enough BLM to camp at, and so we had to push a little further. We're just outside of Alcova. We finally found some camp after some searching on some BLM land, and it's way overdue for beer 30. So I'll catch you later. Got some pretty awesome views at camp. Might even get to see the sunset. But today's beer 30 is brought to you by one of my local favorites in Colorado, Cerebral Brewing. And tonight we have Vital Linguistics, Japanese inspired wheat beer. Cheers! What's up, Mike? What's on the menu for tonight?
I haven't decided. Maybe a veggie burger with some of my wife's famous calabacitas.
Fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm making tortellini.
Oh, that sounds good.
Fresh. I'm just kidding.
Of course, the camera never does it justice on a view like this, but I was fortunate enough to catch a glimpse of an incredible moonrise to close out a very peaceful evening around camp.
Morning. It's July 3rd and we have another hard push today. It's going to be about 140 miles if we're able to manage completing it. We're coming from Alcova to Atlantic City today, so it's definitely going to be a push, but it's going to be a great celebration tonight because we have a birthday and we're celebrating July 4th. Big barbecue feast, so stick around for that. We've reached Alcova and we're topping off with fuel, topping off air in our tires because we got about a 20-mile stint of highway we got to get on before we hit dirt again, so getting it done. This is a great little general store. If you're ever passing through, make sure to hop on in. Also wanted to mention that I grabbed one of the burritos from the convenience store there, and it is really good. Yeah.
After a stretch of highway to get to a very desolate next section of trails, I was determined to cover as much ground as possible, but finding a balance proved to be difficult sometimes. We only had a few hundred miles to cover over the course of a few days. But I wasn't complaining because what we were driving through was absolutely gorgeous. Having to take a last-minute detour proved that we were entering the most remote part of the journey by far, but it felt good to be far away from civilization.
Pit stopping for lunch in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the road.
All right, just a quick trail update and our progress. We are 40 miles into the section from Alcova to Atlantic City, heading west. At this point, we're averaging about 10 miles an hour, and it's 3 o'clock now, and I'm not sure there's any real way we're going to be able to make it to Atlantic City unless the road opens up and we're going to be running, 30 or 40 miles an hour. But we might have to consider a bear point soon, and we want to leave time to find camp, so we'll see what happens.
Well, we took the bailout road south towards Jeffrey City. We just weren't going to make it to Atlantic City tonight, and it's already 5 o'clock. And we had this impending storm and weather system moving in and moving east, so we're going to have to find some other place tonight.
The weather caught up with us as we drove through some torrential rain and gale force winds, but there was a glimmer of hope.
Well, in a shocking turn of events due to the storm, we are at the Rawlings Fairgrounds. It's dry, it's flat, and we don't have to deal with a big muddy mess. We might just be camping here tonight, celebrating.
If it's bad, then I'll bring it.
Test run. We're getting this party started tonight with some mules. Cucumber mint and trail mix? Oh.
You ever had this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was able to walk by.
There's nothing not good about that.
I saw it. I think it was at a Costco.
All right, we got kind of a shindig going on. We got some chimichurri skirt steak. Joe made a cucumber salad. Got some hot dogs, crowd, raspberry lemonade. Party is on. He knew it all along.
It's from the tail.
Yay!
Yeah, I get to rip something now.
All right, we're gonna toast up some croissants here. It's a little stormy. We're gonna try to get it done anyway.
Can I bring my chair?
Here it is.
Have a chair.
Oh, croissant s'more, croissants.
Just outside, just outside.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow. Okay.
From there, you can see how much.
We even got to see 2 fireworks displays as we chilled around the campfire. I think we all agreed that this spot was turning out awesomely.
It's happening behind us too. Yep. That thing tells me it's gonna happen.
It was the dawn of a new day, and inevitably our trip was coming to a close. We enjoyed a calm morning around camp before we eventually said our goodbyes. Until next time.
Well, here we are getting ready to depart here at the campgrounds in Rawling, Wyoming. It was a good night. We definitely had a very strong burst of wind. Storm came through that broke Shane's tent. And we had to hold down my awning until the wind subsided with 3 different guys. So it was a bit crazy last night with the weather. Anyhow, we're getting ready to roll out. This concludes this series of the Roman Wyoming, or at least part 2. And so, until next time, see you around.
As I drove home, I reminisced about the last few days of our trip, but at the same time, I could only look forward to the next great adventure.